actually a big part of feeling better about it is talking about it, because when you're in the funk, you're just trying to like contain the funk.
No, exactly. That's it. You feel shamey and weird and like you don't want to expose yourself. And then that's how I felt about the perfectionist episode. Remember, I was like, I think I just overcame that. I think I'm better now. I'm recovered.
That's all I needed.
It's over.
Sitting out this funk for many, many weeks. It's getting old.
And weak. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Humanhood series, brought to you by your hosts, Casey Riley and
Melanie Peralta.
Humanhood is a conversation devoted to humanizing your human experience and making personal development more personal. And before we dive into today's episode, we would love to ask a little favor of you. If you haven't subscribed on the relevant channel so far, Spotify or YouTube, go ahead and subscribe. And leave us a review on Spotify if you are loving these episodes.
Oh my gosh, that would literally mean the absolute world to us. We have a goal for the end of the year, and we'd really, really love to hit that goal. So if you've been enjoying this, please show your love. We'd much, much appreciate it.
Yes. And today we come to you with a fragile episode. Melanie's been going through a little funk.
I have.
And funks absolutely suck. You know that like weird limbo? You're just like, there's something just doesn't feel right in the air, right with me. And like everything just feels unaligned and weird and dramatic. And you are moving through that.
I know.
And we all move through it.
Yes.
So let's talk about it. Let's humanize it.
Yeah, so today we came in, and now that we're doing the weekly episodes, Casey and I are like, okay, so what do we want to talk about today? And I'm like, I've been in a funk, man. This is probably the longest funk I've been in years.
Usually my funks are 3 days, 3 to 4 days.
Okay, yeah. Honestly, same.
Yeah.
Normally, my funks last less than a week, usually. This one has been weeks.
I feel like it's been months.
For me?
Yeah.
Well, the funk has deepened. Okay, so there was layers to it. Okay, it started off just being like a business funk.
Right.
It was like, oh, I'm in this identity shift. Like now I'm shifting out from being this entrepreneurial coach to now going into this generational empowerment and how do I want to show up and da-da-da. And then if you've been listening, then it was like a heartbreak funk because the situation that I was really excited about didn't work out. So then it was like the career funk, then the relationship funk, and then there's been a physical funk because I've been experiencing health issues and I've been working to figure out what is going on with me. You know? And so I was telling my sister, I was like, my head was hurting from work, my heart was hurting from this situation, and then my body has physically been in pain. And I've been dealing with this chronic pain for years, and it's getting just to the point where I'm like, I can't live like this. I cannot live like this. And I'm such a resilient person that it backfires on me. Like, when it comes to certain things, I just deal with it.
Yeah.
Because I prioritize the other stuff.
Well, you know what they say about chronic pain. What? It's the only thing that you can't ignore. Yeah. It presents itself so strongly that you have to acknowledge it.
And that's where I'm at.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. And so, okay. Everyone deals with their funks differently. You know, a lot of people go to a psychiatrist and then the psychiatrist says, you have depression. Here are these antidepressants. And then you start to take those or whatever. Or some people just stay in bed forever. Or some people go and drink or whatever. I decided to do some mushrooms. I'm like, there are definitely seasons and spaces and phases in my life where I am like, it's time to lean on my plant allies. I am 1000% a plant medicine person. I'm definitely not the person that is like always in plant medicine, but I would much rather eat some mushrooms than go and take a prescribed pill to try to figure myself out and get my energy right. I'd much rather go inward and deal with my shit instead of take something that's gonna quote unquote balance my chemicals for me. You know what I mean? So I had been feeling like I think it's time for a deep dive psilocybin journey. It's feeling like it's about that time. But I just didn't prioritize it because I've been trying to stay focused on other things. But then it just got to a point where it was like, okay, it's time. I had like this one breaking point a little over a week ago where I was like, you need to reach out to your people. You need to get support from, aside from just, I have a lot of support when it comes to like talking things out with my friends and stuff. But it was like, you need to get a different layer of support.
You need professional investment
support.
Yeah.
Yes. And you need to start calling some of your other resources for help and advice and guidance. And so that day, I made 2 calls. And one of those calls was to a dear friend of mine, Kim Rogers, who is the one of the creators of, or the creator of Rogers Hood Apothecary, who owns the Parasite Cleanse Company. And she is just like always at the forefront of so many of the new technologies and healing modalities and things like that. So I knew, I'm like, and she's been through so much in her own healing journey that I'm like, let me call Kim and see and tell her what's going on with my body so that she can give me some answers if she has them. And sure enough, she did. And she was like, I went through that and this is what helped me. Try this. And so I have my very first appointment on Tuesday to start a certain type of therapy that hopefully helps for me. So I made that phone call. That was a step forward because I have been dealing with this pain in silence, suffering in silence, which we just talked about, not suffering in silence.
Well, it's interesting because you don't suffer in silence in a lot of areas in your life, but this area has been something you've been quiet about.
Yeah, the physical thing. And it goes back to the resilience thing. Because one, I actually do have a really high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
So, you know, a little bit of pain every day, I'm like, it's fine. But no, it's not. It's actually not. And then it got to the point where it literally wasn't fine. And I'm like, oh, I can't. Like, this isn't okay. So anyways, I made that call, took that step. That is in motion. Thank goodness. It feels so good to have something in motion around that. And then the second call was to a great friend of mine, Jana Bryant, who has this incredible company called Permission to Be. And she holds sacred space. And so I called her and I was just like, this is where I'm at. This is what's happening in my world. And I need support. Like, I need to go inward. I need to go in and sort my things out and just be with me fully at a deep level. And she was like, I'd be honored to hold space for you. So I went to her house in her precious desert sanctuary, and I went on a deep dive medicine journey from like 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 8 p.m. girl. I was in it thick. Yeah. And so much came up for me. So much came up for me. And one of the biggest ones was the weight that I carry. Oh, I'm going to get emotional. The weight that I carry in my life. With everything that I do, I always have to be so well put together for everybody all the time. I have to be the well put together, figure it out parent, co-parent. Like, I have to be the one that can figure it out if I can't get help. I'm always working to be the well put together daughter so that I never stress out my family. I'm always the well put together sibling that everybody can lean on, the well put together friend. Like, I am so resilient. I really am. I can hold a lot, and that's my problem. I can hold so much that I hold too much. And sometimes not even sometimes, but most of the time, I don't have a choice. Most of the time, I have to hold it. So I do. And I really do my best. And I do hold my shit at a high level. I really do. I really, really do. But the thing when it came to like my family, like not wanting to be a burden to my family, that was a really, really loud message that came through for me in my journey was like, tell your family what's going on with you. You don't have to always be so well put together for them. It's okay. Especially when it comes to like my physical health. They didn't know nothing about that I was still suffering with that. They knew that I had my 2 procedures a couple years ago, but they didn't know the depth that I was like still struggling with this. So I was like, tell your family. They will help you, even if you need financial help, because a lot of the types of treatments that I want are not covered by insurance because they're so new and so, like they're not just your regular Western medicine treatments, which is really not the route that is aligned for me anyway. And so I talked to my family and all of that stuff, and I got the response that I knew, and deep down I knew I was going to get, is just like, we'll do whatever we have to do for you. Mm-hmm. Oh, gosh. I know. So it just gets like scary when it comes to health things. Cause when I started, and I'm not ready to share the details about what's going on with me yet, but like, so when your mind starts to think of like the worst, it's like, fuck, what if I have to do this? What if I have to stop working? What if, you know what I mean? Like, what am I going to do? And the answer to all of those what ifs was lean on your family. And that was like the one thing that I was really not doing at all. Mm-hmm. So I have. And gosh, that felt so much lighter, so much lighter. And then it also came with clarity for the romantic situation that I was in, because I'm like, fuck, I am going through something really big and serious right now. And I need somebody who can hold me in all of my things, including stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what this journey is about to look like or what it's going to require. And I need a partner who has the capacity for real life shit like that.
Yeah, I've experienced that also. I mean, I've shared on here multiple times the journey that I went through with the head injury and the years of treatment and the years of me really falling into a deep, like, I don't want to say depression, but for me, it felt depressing because I was no longer me anymore. I could no longer carry and hold everything. I really needed to ask for help. I really needed to take a load off of me when it came to work and the things I was saying yes to so that I could really restore. And with that, sweet Brian just watching me change and watching me say no to so many things. Like, why doesn't she want to go out to eat anymore? Oh, because I'm having panic attacks in the bathroom. So I'd rather just not go. And so as to your point, having a partner who can really be with you through the ups and the downs, through sickness and in health, like, it really requires a certain type of person. And this is also bringing up, I don't want to share her name, but someone we both know went through a serious medical challenge this year too.
Oh, yes.
And she was sharing that her partner really showed up for her, and she didn't realize, like, it brought them closer in a way because they had never navigated something like this. But imagine doing that on your own.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not easy. I feel like you were forced into this to ask your parents for support and help.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So it made me surrender even more to that situation not playing out, because it was like, the reality is, especially in this season of my life, now I have even more clarity on what I truly, truly need from a partner. And I'm actually grateful that somebody had the clarity of like, yeah, I don't have the capacity for that.
Yeah.
You know? So I was able to like surrender to that more. So shout out to the mushrooms, man. Shout out to the mushrooms, because it really, I unraveled, Casey. I bawled my eyes out. I haven't had a journey that deep, that emotional in a really, really long time, and I needed it so much. 2 days after that, I did nothing. I did nothing. I cried so much in that journey that it felt like I was in an emotional hangover for 2 days.
Yeah.
I didn't leave my house. I barely left the couch.
Exhaustion.
Exhausted. I took a nap, like a multiple hour nap, the 2 days after that. I don't ever nap, really. It's not like a natural part of my daily routine.
Yeah.
So, and then this is a funny part. Because when you're in a funk and you're in that funk and you know you need to just chill the fuck out and slow down and not do anything, bro, I was my higher self and my human were so in a battle. The first day that I came home, normally like Mondays is when I do all my humanhood stuff. Like I do my best to get most of it done on Mondays, you know? And so that Monday, I woke up, made breakfast. I didn't have Kai, so it was like I had some days to just do me, you know? And then it was like a few hours after I woke up, I was exhausted. And I was laying on my couch in my robe, and I was like slowly going down. And I was like, no, don't. You need to get, and then my higher self was like, shh, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It literally is. I was just saying it to me so many. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then I slept. And then the next day too, I surrendered to the sleep again. And it was on the third day. Something came up with the space and we weren't filming last week. And so it was on the third day, on the Wednesday, where I woke up that day. And it was like the processing was pretty complete.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's still, like, I had to take action. I was like, okay, I need to call my dad. I need to, take these steps and do these things and take action on the lessons and the clarity that I received. And so I did, and it's definitely been feeling so much better. But the one thing that I've really had to continue working through is the pressure to show up and create and produce while I'm working to tend to my human.
Yeah, feeling forced to create content or forced to show up and just stay relevant, so to speak. It's so felt when we're trying to force through that.
Yeah.
And I remember when I went through some of my intense plant medicine journeys years ago, I would fight through it because my humanness would be like, don't be lazy, don't do this. And I would push through it. And it ended up hurting me so much in the long run by not giving myself that space to integrate.
Right.
And so I'm really happy that you gave yourself those 2 days just to sleep and move through it and process it, because then life just smacks you with another challenge. And it was like, I should have just rested and integrated and let this settle into my body and rest my sweet little mind that just went through this 8-hour experience.
Yes.
So I'm so happy that you did that.
Me too.
But yeah, feeling like this funk, and even outside of all this, just when you're in a funk, feeling forced to show up, if you're at work or if you do have some type of thing you have to sit through and you're just in that funk with this little fog of something just doesn't feel right here. It's the worst feeling.
Yeah, and especially, do you know that this saying, what you resist persists?
Oh yeah.
I've been fighting this funk so hard, dude. I've been fighting it hard because I don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
I don't.
It's awful.
It's awful. But some of these things and some of these situations, like, I can't control them. They're out of my control. A lot of these things, I'm on the other end of just having to emotionally manage myself through them. You know what I'm saying? Especially the physical thing, like, that's still a mystery. I've got work to do. I just have to figure it out and be with it. I had to be with the physical thing. I had to be with the heartbreak. I had to be with the identity shift and the uncomfortability and even the confusion that comes with that. You know? So it's like, sometimes you do have to sit in the funk and figure out yourself day by day by day through it. It's literally been a day by day process for me. And I've had to totally surrender to that. And I've had like clients who want to work with me and stuff, and there's certain things I'm saying yes to because I'm like, where I'm at, I have the capacity for this, and then there's certain things that I'm saying no to because I don't have the capacity for that, and I have to be mindful of my capacity. You know what I mean? So yeah. And then with retreat coming up, the one thing that I do appreciate about a funky funk is when you are on the other end of it, oh my God. When you are on the other end of it, for me personally, I have so much substance when I'm on the other end of it. And I already know that Womanhood Wellness Weekend's about to be lit this year because once I get on the other end of this, bitch, oh, I'm going to have some gems to drop.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. I was reflecting on this time last year as well, because what month is it right now? July. That's when I was in my 4-month funk.
It was 4 months?
It was March through August of that awful situation.
Whoa.
And I remember like some old pictures and stuff showed up, and I just thought to myself, oh my gosh, this time last year you were scared for your mental health. You were feeling awful and literally terrified, feeling ill, you know, multiple times a month after these things. And I was just, thank you, God. I feel so much better right now. But with that being said, and I'm curious what, I feel like we've heard some of your takeaways so far, but if I didn't have that awareness last year, the clarity that came to me about these patterns and these behaviors and these personality traits that I had been operating under for so long, if I wouldn't have had that hard 4-5 month funk to check in and would have continued on that path, I would have burned the fuck out in probably a really horrible way worse than what I went through last year. And so all of that time to myself, all of that time for self-reflection and refinery gave me the opportunity to literally face all of these horrible things about myself. And not all horrible, because they're good traits as well, but really take inventory of, I need to change this stuff right now. And thank you, God, for having this happen, because if it didn't happen and I was just moving on, I don't know where I would be. You know, I think I would have hit it even worse later on down the road. So I'm curious, what has been your biggest, like, real takeaways from this? Like, maybe, you know, leaning on your family for support when you're holding it together. Like, what else has been, like, this is the hard lesson that I've been learning these past few months?
Definitely the one that I had already shared about just, like, how much I carry. But knowing that that is a part of my role in my world and in my life is to be a heavy lifter. It is. And so I had a moment with myself last night. It's like, know what you are and know how to tend to and take care of and fuel who you are. So one of those things for me is, it's funny because we just dropped the perfectionist episode today, and
I was off the rails in that episode. I exposed myself. I'm like, you sound like a psychotic bitch.
Well, it was funny because in that episode, nonchalant. I'm all nonchalant. Like, I used to be so hard on myself. And then this past, like, couple weeks, I've been so hard on myself. I'm like, oh, you do still hold yourself to, I mean, I already know I hold myself to a high standard, and normally I do give myself a lot of grace, but it's easier to give yourself grace when there's like things in your world that you're proud of yourself for.
Exactly, yeah.
And I am proud of myself for things right now, but I haven't been acknowledging the things that I'm proud of myself for. I feel like I've been subtly criticizing myself more than acknowledging myself more. Like, even with the relationship situation, it's like, why are you still upset about that? Like, let that go. It wasn't aligned for you. Like, you know, it's like the critic in your mind that's like trying to dismiss the emotion. And like, you shouldn't even feel like that right now. Like, this, you should be grateful that thing, you know?
Yeah.
Instead of just like allowing myself to be human and be like, that was something that I actually really wanted, and it's okay to feel sad about it, you know? And then just because I haven't been creating as much, well, the story that I've been telling myself is that I'm not creating anything right now. And guess what? I'm creating this with you right now.
We're creating a lot. I think you're creating a lot more now than you have in the past 2 years. This is a big creation.
Which is so funny because
we're pumping out content every day for the past 6 months.
Dude, I know. I'm like, literally, we're filming every week. We're dropping an episode every week. I'm creating a trailer every week. We're producing content every single week. Like, we're doing this all week, every single week.
And that, my friends, is what you call a story in your head.
That's a story for real. But I guess it's because, like, I look at this as ours.
Yes.
And not like a Melanie thing over here. But this is a Melanie thing still.
Yeah.
You know, we're pouring so much into this, a lot.
Yeah.
And so
it does feel different when you don't have, and maybe this isn't where you're going with this, but this is how I can feel sometimes, when there isn't as much as a tangible result.
Yes.
You know, at Womanhood Wellness Weekend, you're seeing the people, it's start to finish. You're even like making money from that. It's this whole thing.
Yes.
And you feel this is like a complete project.
Yes.
Whereas this is such a different type of creation.
Exactly.
Where it's just different and we're throwing it out there and like, we don't know who's seeing this, who's watching this. Does anyone like this?
Do you guys really give a fuck?
Please share it.
Leave a goddamn review.
But it's like out into the ether.
Yes.
And you don't have that hard room. Like for me, when I see my sessions and I see all the people, I'm like, this is the result of this.
Yes.
And so it just feels a little different.
It does.
Yeah.
It really, really does. And so I was like, I know. I was telling myself, like, you're not creating anything right now. And I'm like, actually, you're creating something so spectacular. And you guys have been doing such a great job at it.
Such a great job. So let me just put a pin in this because I want to elaborate on this. We're doing such a great job. When I look at, it is a lot of effort to do what we're doing, to do it well. And when I look at our stuff and our consistency and our trailers and our clips and all of the things, like we are doing this so well that I think anyone hearing this from the outside is like, what do you mean this doesn't feel? But that's the pressure that comes with holding ourselves to a high standard when you and I are immersed in this world. So we do see it all the time. And so we are, you know, putting this pressure and all these things on ourselves.
Yeah.
But to everyone else, it's like the most excellent thing they've ever
Right.
seen. And it is excellent.
Yeah. And then sometimes people, like, I'll see people and they're like, oh my God, you've been so busy lately. You've been doing so much. And I'm like, am I? But that's also because I've experienced seasons of my life where I'm like coaching 21 one-on-ones with Tony and Dean, and then speaking on the global stage to thousands of people. And then after that, I still have my clients. And then after that, I'm recording the Moving Mantra Project. And then I get home and I be a mom and I'm homeschooling. And it's like the comparison to these different seasons and these different chapters and the different substance or creation that's coming in the product, quote unquote, productivity that's coming out of them. It just feels different. You know,
imagine if you had all of that with what you're moving through right now.
I know.
Tanked, burned out.
Yeah.
Not even acknowledging it.
Yeah. So I had that breakthrough of, so the question that, going back to your initial question that you had asked was like, what are some of the biggest takeaways? Is just through these processes while you're in the funk and maybe you are a little bit more stagnant and you are slowing down and the rest is required, to acknowledge yourself more for the things that you are doing throughout that process.
Yeah.
Because my health is a priority right now, I'm taking really good care of myself to the best of my ability, from working out regularly to red light therapy all the time to walks and sunshine and food and water and all the things, you know?
Yeah.
And so that's definitely a huge priority for me, 1000%. And then just doing my best. And this is where I fucking rock. This is one of my greatest acknowledgments for myself throughout this time, is being able to maintain a high quality level of motherhood while I'm in my funk. Dude.
Being in a funk with our parents, I don't know how your funks were with your parents growing up, but when my parents were in a funk when I was growing up, we'd literally call it the funk. It was terrifying. It was honestly terrifying. Walking on eggshells. When is this funk gonna end? Monitoring the room and just being so attuned and aware of every little behavior so that nothing else could rock this boat. And so being able to do that as a parent, I respect that so much, because it was, if you could just imagine your son walking around like, this is how it felt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tomorrow,
Yeah.
Dude, the parental funk.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. In the past, I didn't always deal with it gracefully. And that is such a natural, normal thing. Like, when you are going through your own stuff, your capacity for your children's BS, especially when it's like, Mom, can I download Roblox? No. Can I get Robux? I'm like, your parents can barely pay for groceries. Stop asking your mom for Robux. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, I see these parents out here and they're struggling to stay above water.
Yeah.
And their kids have no idea what the heck is going on with them.
Yeah.
So then the kids are being totally insensitive to it. Entirely.
Yeah.
Like, complaining about some irrelevant ass shit while she's over here. She's got a car accident, doesn't have a vehicle. You know what I mean? And you're over here like, my iPad needs to be charged.
Dairy Queen closes in 2 hours. Can we still go?
And so, like, one, I am very transparent with my son about what mommy is moving through. I don't tell him every single adult detail.
Yeah.
But he knows. He knew that I was seeing somebody, and he knew that I was excited about that. He knew when that was over, mommy's sad about this. Mm-hmm. He knows that I've been dealing with pain. He knows that I went through that. Mommy's in pain today. You know, he knows that I have responsibilities and I have work and things like that. So it's in his awareness to be mindful of me and my energy. You know what I mean? Oh, it's hurting me right now. He knows to be mindful of me during my seasons of suffering. And a lot of parents, they don't communicate with their children well enough to even give your children the opportunity to be more mindful of you. You know what I mean? And that's been a huge piece of, especially because he's older now. I understand, you know, when you have little kids, they have no idea. they don't know. They don't, oh, fuck, hold on. It's really hurting. They don't know. Okay.
Well, and what I see from like the child's point of view, by letting them know, it's letting them know that if you're in a funk, it's not about them.
Yes.
Because I know when my sister's in a funk, she's like, oh, I'm in one of those funks, you know? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, I don't tell my children exactly what's happening, but I'll just let them know I'm in a funk. So if I'm short with you, it has nothing to do with you.
Right. That's very,
and
very
that
important.
Is so important because yes, they should be mindful of you, just navigating, you know, the humanness of their parent, but also for the kid, we take on so much. And that just lets me know, okay, you're in a funk, you're moving through these challenges, but it's not that I upset you.
Right.
I don't have to, you're not mad at me.
Right.
And that for me is like, that's where I'm looking out for the kids.
Yes, honestly, that's key because he does know that.
Yeah.
He does know. And then he's so precious that like he's extra loving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just like, he'll come to me if I'm like laying down or something and he'll come to me and he'll give me a kiss just like randomly and stuff. So that's been a really, really huge thing for me is not projecting my pain onto my child to where I am creating an unsafe, emotionally unsafe, or just a certain environment where he's being impacted by my shit,
Yeah.
you know? And I do a really, really good job at maintaining a healthy environment for him, even when he knows my mommy's moving through something right now, but it's not like, ooh, mom's moving through something. It's like, oh, let me go love her instead of let me stay the fuck away from her.
Yeah. Let me like hide from her and not even be around.
Yeah.
You know, us kids like take on all these coping mechanisms. And I just love that you're so aware of that.
Yeah.
To not re-traumatize.
Right.
People. And then you have to deal with that while you're dealing with this. You're like, how do I be extra gentle here?
Yeah. And then it just teaches him to be thoughtful
Yeah.
and compassionate. And when I ask him to do something like, hey, I want these dishes done by the time I get back from the gym. And he's like, okay, get some done. You know, I mean, he usually listens anyway. He's so great. I've done a really good job with him.
Oh, he is cute.
He's so great, dude. He's such a wonderful kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've been doing recently, going back to the self-criticism, how you were saying like you started to get into that loop and wanted to acknowledge what you're doing better more. I had that realization a couple of weeks ago. So I got into this self-criticism and it was really wild. Usually it's like kind of subconscious, you know, and you're just like, oh, okay, I'm kind of picking this apart and whatever. But it was very aware because I sat down to do my breath work, my daily breath work practice. And I was like, okay, deal with X, Y, and Z. All the things, all the bad stuff that I was pinning on myself.
Yeah.
And I had this realization where I realized this is what you do all the time. Every single time you go into one of these things, it's to acknowledge the shitty parts about you. And I had this realization where I decided that, no, instead of picking me apart, let me share what I love about myself in this situation. So instead of saying, like, let's say we'll use the relationship example where it's, you know, what did I do wrong? I really wanted this to work. Why am I not over this? You know, it's only been 2 months. Flipping it and saying, I love how much I feel. I love how much you love other people. I love that you got so invested so quickly and like your heart is so open. Like all of the things that you love about yourself and how you handled that situation versus like going into all the things you did wrong and beating yourself up about how you're feeling. And for me, that gave me an awareness of, okay, next time I am going to self-criticize myself, let me just flip it. I want to acknowledge it, right? Because we all have areas to improve on. But instead of beating myself up, I also want to acknowledge the things that I love about myself and how I handled this situation. Because I am only focusing on the things that I didn't do right.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
That was a game changer for me.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true. The criticism, man, because so it was just 4th of July weekend. And I went out on 4th of July with Bianca. Time of our lives. So much fun. I rarely ever go out 2 nights in a row.
Oh, gosh.
I never go out
That's
2
wild.
nights. Dude, right?
That's wild.
That's wild.
2 times a month. 6 months.
I never go out out 2 nights in a row. But then some of my other friends reached out to me the next day, and I never get to spend time with them. I've really been wanting to spend time with them. So I was like, well, I just went out last night, but I really want to see you guys. So yes, like I'll come out. And so I went out, and I drank both of those nights. And then the following day, or like Monday, when it's time to get back to work, then I'm criticizing myself. And I'm like, well, you've been in this funk. Maybe you shouldn't have been drinking this weekend. Maybe that's not, And then I was talking to JR about it, and he was like, he's so funny. He calls me Bubba. He's all Bubba. He's like, really? He's like, if you're over here upset with yourself that you went out and drank 2 nights in a row. He's like, if that's your idea of being like unhinged or whatever, then you're pretty fucking pure, dog. Like, it's fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, you're right. It is fine. Mm-hmm. Because the acknowledgement of myself is that I never do that. I don't party all the time. I go out when I want to, but it's not. He's like, I could see if you were doing that like every weekend for weeks, then it'd be like, all right, well, let's have a talk. He's like, bro, chill. Yeah. It's all good. Like, stop being so hard on yourself. Mm-hmm. So then after listening or editing the video from
you're like, let me self-reflect. I love how much I can drink. I love how much I rage. I love how crazy I am on the dance floor.
I love how fun I am. We really did have the time of our lives. We always have the time of our lives. So much fun. But yeah, it was just like I had fallen back into the pattern of being too hard on myself, especially when I'm in the space that I've been in, because then it has me over analyzing every choice that I'm making. Like, is this a choice I should be making right now? Well, you're in a funk right now, Melanie. So instead of going out and having fun with your friends, you should have been home meditating, bitch.
Journaling.
You should have been in a bubble bath with your frequencies on. Like, you know what I mean? But so it's like, was that the best choice? That you were out gallivanting around with your friends? And I'm like, actually, I had so much fun.
Remember, fun is healing.
Fun is healing. It was a fantastic time. I no regrets. I regret nothing.
Should have been at home, but in a bubble bath with their hair in a wrap, journaling.
With my Hertz frequencies on.
Your Hertz.
Right. So, yeah, all of that to say, I am not fully out of the funk just yet. However, I am tending to myself in the most loving way possible. And I know that I'm doing the best that I can from where I'm at with my personal capacity right now to get back to feeling fully clear, fully on fire, and just like fully rejuvenated again. And I have so many people in my world to thank for being with me while I've been in this space, you included. Thank you so much. Because I know that a lot of people in my world, they view me very highly. And everybody knows who I am and what I'm capable of and all of those different things. So when I am in this space, it's vulnerable for me, man. Oh, yeah. It is.
That's how I felt about the perfectionist episode. I was like, perfect Casey is actually crazy. Sorry, don't judge me. I'm working on it.
It's actually crazy.
Literally, that's how I felt. I was like, why did you just expose so much of yourself?
Yeah, well, that's what this series is for. Yeah. You know, like the thing I love about this platform is these are the conversations that we're never going to have on Instagram.
Absolutely not.
Unless you watch this series, you really don't know what's actually going on. You really don't know the real shit if you don't listen to the Human Hit series.
true.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true because this is our safe space.
It is.
All right. We've created this sanctuary for us. And we know we're not the only ones.
Oh, yeah.
We know we're not the only ones who move through these funks. And just like our tagline says, humanizing the human experience, y'all are seeing me in the thick of a very uncomfortable funk right now, okay? Mm-hmm. And through this conversation, I pray that you give yourself space and grace and that you acknowledge yourself throughout the process for what you are doing right instead of all of the things that you may consider that you're doing wrong, and that you lean on your people as much as you can and support yourself in other ways if you don't necessarily have the relationships and the community that you need. I've been really, really diving into different podcasts and like really different podcasts because of the space that I've been in work-wise. I've been listening to a lot of artist interviews, studying a lot of creatives because I'm working to ignite my visionary fire again, and then listening to relationship podcasts to just continue learning in those ways. And then I was listening to Carolyn Mace this morning. And so and then listening to certain music that I don't always listen to. I've been in my oldies bag hard lately. I've been listening to Al Green and shit, man. It's been so nice.
So healing.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. But Kai's like, Mom, what is going on?
Yeah.
But it's been so, so beautiful. So figure out what you need moment by moment by moment. And on just a physiological standpoint, when you are in a mental emotional funk, taking care of your body well will be one of the greatest things that you can do for yourself, because as long as you're tending to your vessel well, it's not going to be the extra baggage on top of all of the psychological and emotional things that you're already going through. Don't feed your body things that are going to make you feel more like shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go for the walk, go for the run, go sit in the sauna, do the things.
Yeah. I think for me, my biggest takeaway with all of this, just because I was in the 4-month funk last year. And so as I'm really just reflecting, I love that you have all these different things to help move you through it. And also don't negate how powerful it is just to sit with it. Sometimes our body screams at us and gives us these signals because it just wants us to do nothing. And I remember there were so many times where I would just be sitting there and I'm like, why? I could literally feel this like ball of energy moving, and I would just start crying or like getting angry, and these emotions were moving through me, and I was just sitting there silent. And it's like, just let me move through the sludge, like just get it out. And I would cry, and crying is so healing. And then it's like, where did that come from? Where did that come from? But if I were sitting here doing this or kept working or out and about distracting myself, that wouldn't have been able to move through. So just being aware of the moments that you do need to stop and just sit with yourself and let it move through you and feel. Sometimes it doesn't feel good, but just let it move through you and it will pass, because the body is always giving you signals. And what I learned last year was when it was challenging me psychologically, there was a massive lesson to be learned. And I was just like, let's move through this and learn it and integrate it, because I don't want to come back here. I don't want to come back here. And when those things are flagging me again, I know exactly. It's trying to get my attention for this. Refocus, Casey. Do not slip back into those patterns, those behaviors, and those personality traits.
Yeah.
And so I know you're going to move through this. It will end soon. I feel like you've been going through all the layers.
I have.
And for anyone who's moving through it, so cliche, but try to just pull the lesson out of it, because this is teaching you something.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is.
Yeah. Big hugs to everybody who's listening.
Yeah.
We love you. Pray for your girl, okay? Pray for your girl.
Prayers for Melanie.
Hopefully I have updates soon about progress
Yeah.
in my health situation. Maybe at some point I'll be down to be more open about that, but I'm still just trying to figure it out. Yeah. So as always, we love you guys so much. Thank you for listening. Until next time. Bye.